Hey, True Believers. Chris Mack coming at you today with Batman vs. Robin, issue 2. And I'm going to say, when I first read this book, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. But here's the funny thing. I went to review this last week, and, I ranted and raved about, oh, they took away from the action, blah, blah, blah. And have you guys ever had that thing where, you just completely kind of screw the pooch, and then, you come back and you're like, well, I'm glad that happened. Well, serendipitously, I think that's the word. I think that's what happened here because I happened to see that my microphone, there's a button on my thingamajig that you can switch between, where is it? Hold on, I'll show you. You can switch between smartphone and camera, so that way if you're recording with your cell phone like I am, you can switch it off or up to a camera if you're working with a camera. Well, I use my camera for the action figure reviews, and so I forgot to switch the button. And so, I did the TikTok short that I do, and then I uploaded the full review video, not thinking anything of it. And a couple days before it aired, I was like, well, I should probably play it back and make sure that there's no errors. The whole audio, both the TikTok short and the YouTube video were nothing. It was just me waving my hands in front of a camera and you couldn't hear shit. And I was like, oh, so I had to delete both of them. And therein, I'm glad that happened because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a break from this book, I'm stepping away. So I went back, read this last night, and I went, this ain't so bad. I think I wasn't in the mindset, or I think I had different expectations. So after just completely abandoning all that and seeing what the writer and the team was trying to do, I was like, you know what, this is actually pretty good. It actually brings you up to speed. So sometimes if you guys really hate a book, put it down, walk away from it for a little while, and come back with it with fresh eyes. And if it still sucks, well, then, it is what it is. But this one was not. You introduced with this book, let's kind of jump into it now that I'm just rambling. I've had a little bit of caffeine, so if you can't tell, I'm a little caffeinated right now. We are introduced to Jinx and Tenark, and they're in Atlantis. They got to get another relic. And if you remember, Niza is kind of essentially stealing all magic entities. At the last issue, you remember when Zatanna had her neck broken? I was like, holy shit! So Zatanna sends Alfred and Batman off to try to get backstories, blah, 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 on what's going on so they could take down Nisha or Niza. I have no idea how to pronounce this guy's name, and I never read the original World's Finest, so I wouldn't know either. So if you all want to make fun of me down in the comments, feel free to do it. Now, Tenark and Jinx. These are two nasty customers. Jinx, she says that her powers are, you know what, let's read it instead of me trying to guess. I draw power from the earth. So long as my feet are on the contact with the ground, I maintain my abilities. And he goes, an elemental. I expected luck-based powers from a sorcerer named Jinx. And then this guy's the alchemist. He can turn water into oxygen, that sort of thing, as he says there. And again, now going back saying that they're a couple of nasty customers where here they get the this mystic gem from one of Atlantis' mythic warriors. The guards try to stop him, and he turns the air to nitrogen, and you're just like, damn, dude, that is intense. And he just drops a whole Atlantean army like that. And then here, the splash brings you up to speed. People working on the book, Mark Waid, writer, Mahoum Assar, artist, Jordi Belair, color, Steve Wan's letter, Mahoum Assar and Nathan Fabian cover. There's everyone else working on the book, and of course, Batman was created by Bill Finger with Bob Kane. This is chapter 2, Bewitched. And no, not the Samantha kind. This part, oh my God. So they end up back where they're, meanwhile on the evil layer, type thing. Exor, Clarion, were you met with success as well? Quite. Ragman's soul suit, ours. And the most thrilling part of it all? We got to peel it off of him. Best retrieval yet. Ugh, just thinking about that makes my skin crawl. Just ouch, 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 ouch. And then, of course, we find out that Soul Mother and Nisha are the ones kind of behind it, and they've sprung out of the pages of that Batman solo, or Batman, that one character that does stuff that wears red, Robin. Robin miniseries, because what I like about this issue, going back again, kind of putting a pin here in the book, when I read the Robin miniseries, I read the first 2 issues. First issue was pretty good too. I was like, this is getting a little hokey. But if you want to read in its entirety to understand what Batman versus Robin is, you can go get it in collected trade now. And Mark Waid does a really good job of touching upon what that book was building up to with this one, so you don't have to go back and read the whole damn thing. Anyway, so this poor girl, what's her name? Black Alice. The devil Nisha. See, because here it's a backwards S, devil Nisha. And you think if that was a Z, it'd be Nizha, but Nisha, I'm assuming. Anyway, they're using Black Alice to take all the magic from all the different relics and then transferring it into its, as she says here, chosen reliquary. As we can see, it's the mask of Dr. Fate. And she's like, no, it hurts so much. No. If you will not do it, do so willingly. And he makes her do it. And you just see the torment that she's in as the magic's drawn from Ragman's soul suit into the mask of Dr. Fate. Child, this is your final warning. Do not hesitate next time. And even though Robin's kind of on the side of evil right now, the Soul Mother goes, there's no need to hide from us, Damien. I'm not hiding, I'm distancing. I don't care for the suffering. Is her pain truly necessary? We all have roles to play, Damien. Yours is the most important. Make your grandmother proud. Now, remember that. Put that in the back of your mind, chew on it a little bit as we move forward. We see Felix Faust, and he's thinking back to a time when he fought the Justice League, and then all of a sudden it's happening again. Now, this has nothing to do with the book or the art. For those of you that watch this that are parents, I'm sure y'all can empathize with me on this one, especially if your kids are young. Mine's a toddler still. The whole time I'm reading this, it's supposed to be serious, and this guy's just going through this torment. But all I can think is that stupid song that every kid's YouTube singer sings, that mommy finger, where are you? Here I am. And that's all I can think. And I'm just thinking, get out of my head. Oh my God. But yeah, so Felix Faust is going crazy. And he's just, that looks like Jar Jar Binks, like, oh, Misa gonna be tripping balls. Sorry, the coffee's really screwing with me today. I think it's that and the lack of sleep and dad brain. Batman eventually has to kind of put him out, put him in a chokehold because there's no other way to stop him. We finally see how the House of Secrets has found them, and the first caretaker they introduce here is Abel, and you can see that he's a little bit more sheepish. And and all of a sudden, as they're exploring the house, things just go, bat crazy, literally. And they're introduced to a flashback. Again, as I was just talking about how Mark Waid does a good job of introducing what happened in that book so that you guys don't have to go back and read the whole series if you don't want to. Again, this is something that we've talked about in past reviews where anytime you pick up a comic book, whatever it is, like say it's your first, you've never been introduced, there should at least be some way for you to be able to read the book without having to go back and read 600 crossovers and 2 events. And that's what I like about this is, if you haven't read the Robin series or any of the other stuff that's been happening, City of Bane, blah, 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 this at least brings you up to speed. And it's done so where it brings it up in spasms. Like there's a surprise here where I don't want to give away who the Soul Mother is, but it's a very important part of this book, where how she's connected to both Batman and Damian and stuff like that. If I say any more, I'm going to give it away, so I don't want to. But then, before that anything else can happen, we're slapped into introducing to Kane, and he's talking about how his brother's a little more squeamish and is not ready for the scary stuff. And the next part of the dream sequence in the House of Secrets is the next part with the Soul Mother, and we actually get an origin story of the Lazarus Pits, which it's 50-50 for me because I liked how the Lazarus Pits are always mired in ambiguity of how it worked. Here, this kind of gives it its properties and how it was refined, and it's cool with the story, but I'm like, not everything needs an origin story, I promise. So that was kind of a 50-50 for me, but it explains the monster that the kids were fighting that we just saw just a moment ago. And then all of a sudden, Damien, not Damien, this isn't that part. Getting ahead of myself once again. Again, we get another flashback. And it starts with where the last issue of Robin, that Robin issue ended, where he's looking at this wall. And I don't want to give away what happens here. But before we get any more answers, Damien attacks the House of Secrets. And how he's using all the characters there, Cain, Abel, and I think her name was Cindy, I can't remember. But he's using them as pawns. And here, the Soul Mother's like, you left them to perish? Oh, the dastardly peril of it all. Please. I left Batman in a burning mansion. That's like trying to catch a rhinoceros with a butterfly net. I achieved my goal. I rattled his spirit. I delivered my message. Now, even though I hate when they do books where the good guy is the bad guy, because Damien always titters on that line, it works. And I like his uniform here. They actually just released a DC Multiverse version of this outfit, and I had to snatch it up. It was too cool to pass up. I can't wait to read issue 3 because Soul Mother gives him something that's supposed to be his quote-unquote birthright. And we actually get to see what's going to be happening with the Bat family. And it ends on a major cliffhanger here, which I don't want to give away. But one thing that I am going to say and I'm going to warn, and I haven't read issue 3 yet, I haven't read, however far they are along now. But seeing Alfred in this position, I'm hoping, because everyone was pissed when Bane killed Alfred in City of Bane. And then the first issue we saw, Alfred is allegedly back. I'm hoping upon hope that he's back, and this isn't some temporary thing like the death of Doctor Strange, where at the end of it he was back, then he's dead, and now he's coming back again. Or that this is not some sort of like body double or alternate dimension. I'm hoping that when this is over, Alfred's back. And that's all I got to say about that, because if it's not and Alfred disappears at the end of this run, I'm gonna lose my shit. Just for lack of a better word, I'm gonna lose my shit, because killing Alfred was unfrickin' necessary. And the way he's brought back in the first issue, in the interaction between him and Bruce, it made me cry. I had to stop it. I was actually tearing up, and I couldn't handle it with how sweet of the way it was written. I'm going to give it that. This book, there's a couple of parts like the Lazarus Pit that kind of irked me, but giving it a time to rest and come back and rereading it, I really appreciate what they did in this issue. So if y'all have enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop and pick up a copy. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you can possibly know. And if you don't mind hitting that fancy little bat bell next to subscribe, that way we can continue to upload content. You guys get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments below, or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.